here it is, the story on how I first got my first deer. Now, I had never gotten a deer before, and I'd always loved hunting, but I had never had any success. In fact, the abysmal success I had had in the past was I had never seen a single deer while hunting. And it wasn't like I had never gone hunting before or gone once or twice. I went every day, all day, the whole hunting season, even muzzleloader. So it was a long process of fail after fail after fail after fail. Now, I believe this was the fall of 2023. Yeah, I was correct, when I was hunting, and I hunted every single day of that season that year, apart from Sundays, because in Maine, you cannot hunt on Sundays. Well, I would get up at 3 a.m., and I would climb up the mountain on my bike, and I would go up 8 miles away to the top of the mountain, and I'd circle around the bluff, and it wasn't like I wasn't seeing sign. I knew what to look for, because I'd find them in the summer, but they just disappeared in the fall. And I'd go, I'd see looking signs, see tracks, all of that. And then winter came, and I'd be freezing, freezing, and I'd starve. I'd do anything to try to get this deer. I'd come home, and I'd have to bike back 8 miles in the dark. And as luck would have it, I eventually did get one. Or, that would be spoiling the story, but oh well, you already know that by the title of the video. So, I was going along, and this was the final day, December 9th, the final day of muzzleloader season for white-tailed deer in Maine of 2023. And I really had I did a prayer. I really was like, God, like, I've put some serious effort in. Please give me the chance, man. And so I went along, and I went through a logging job, right? And I hunted all day, and I went through the logging job, and I sit there by this rock behind a tree. I look at the whole flat, maybe 100 yards in the distance through the trees, and they would go like this, and there was a creek here. And basically, 5, maybe 6 minutes to the legal shooting, I see a flick, right? I'm like, what was that? Looking, pull up my gun, looking, and guess what? It was a deer. Now, I didn't know if it was a buck, and that was the problem, because I can only shoot a buck. I didn't have a doe tag. So, I'm looking, and I'm really hoping, because time is running out. I had a glow-in-the-dark watch right here, and as I would look, I'd glance off the scope and look at my watch, because if I'm gonna get a deer, it's gonna be legal. So I'm looking, and then I see a white flash, and that meant that it was the antlers. These antlers here, I might add. And so I see the flash, and what it was the antlers going across a hemlock branch, and the branch was reflecting the antlers. And so I knew it was a buck. I knew that it had some antlers, at least a decent set, but I would have taken anything at that point. 5 minutes of season, I'm not waiting. So I'm looking, I'm waiting for a shot, and I put it just above his chest, and he's facing it, his head's here, his rump's here, and I'm looking at his chest, I put the crosshairs, and I'm fingering the trigger when he moves to the left behind the hemlock tree. And then I am like, cursing, like I'm in Vietnam sort of stuff. And I'm like, damn. So I'm looking, I'm waiting. All he has to do is he has to either go left or right. But if he goes backwards, I'm not gonna get him. And this is 80 yards away in the dark. Well, as dark as it was still legal, but it was pretty dark for 80 yards away. And I'm looking, and he comes to the right, so his chest is over here, his rump's over here. I put it over his chest, I look at my clock, I've got maybe 4 minutes left. I'm looking, and then, because it was a 50 cal muzzleloader, that thing kicked like a mule. It blew me off my feet. But the smoke went billowing up in the sky. The light from the muzzle reflected off the smoke, so it blinded me, deafened me, and I'm just sitting there blinking, like, ugh, hoping I got it because it's a muzzleloader and it's the end of the season. I'm only getting one shot off. So I'm looking there, and I wait maybe a minute and a half, and I get up, and I stumble through the dark 80 yards away, tripping and trapping and all of that, tripping over sticks and stones and all that. I get over the thing, and it's twitching on the ground, like, and so I grab its head with my left hand. I take my knife out, and I slit its throat, because I didn't want the thing to get up, because I didn't know if I spine shot it or something. And turns out the shot was true, because it went through the neck, through the ephemeral artery and the windpipe. I guess the gun was off. I did testing and the gun was off by about this much to the right and down. So that was good. But I slit his throat and I got it and I got a photo. And basically then I had to tie a rope around its neck, or around its antlers. And then I got a big old stick about maybe like yay long. And I tied the rope around the middle and I drag it like this. So I dragged it maybe half a mile to the truck, which was really lucky because normally I hunted 8 miles away. This specific hunt, I was only half mile away because, well, to be quite frank, I was lazy that day. So, dragged it, threw it in the truck, brought it to the tagging station, got it tagged, green thing right there, and that's the story. So then I brought it home, and the next day, or 2 days later, because you gotta let it dry, or hang, I proceeded to butcher it. But these are the antlers, and the process was extremely rewarding. And you know what, guys? God answers prayers when you need it sometimes. It's a nice 8-pointer with a little drop tine right here. Baby one. But it is there. And it's extremely rewarding, guys. If you could do me a favor, guys, please hit the like, subscribe, and comment, and share it. Send it to other friends and family members. Try to grow the channel. And like always, see you guys around.